Hi, I'm Chip Lohman, Managing Editor for Shooting Sports USA Magazine, NRA's competitive shooting journal. With the increased popularity of multi-gun competition, things like 3-gun, the NRA Bianchi Cup series, are seeing more and more manufacturers providing shooters with out-of-the-box guns that look a lot like the guns the pros are winning with. Things like a longer barrel sight radius, optics, the larger capacity magazines, and custom grips. All this is met by Smith & Wesson with their C.O.R.E, a competition optics-ready equipment model that out of the box provides all these features. For years, Smith & Wesson enjoyed success with their Sigma line, and in 2005 they introduced a new line marketed to military and police, the M&P line. In 2012, the C.O.R.E was released. And the biggest innovation for the C.O.R.E, of course, are the sights. The C.O.R.E kit comes with 5 adapter plates that allow you to mount 7 different brands of optics, like the RMR, the Trijicon, C.O.R.E, J-Point, etc. And of those 7 models, 5 have a low enough profile that you can co-witness both the tall iron sights and the red dot simultaneously. What's the advantage of that? All the training and muscle memory that you've developed over the years with stance, natural point of aim, grip, and sight picture transition directly to the red dot, so there's nothing new to learn. So let's look at some of the basics. The gun comes in both 9mm and 40 Smith & Wesson calibers. You can get it in either a 5-inch or 4 1/4-inch barrel. It has a proprietary nitrating finish called melanite, which is like a case-hardened finish. The gun is a striker-fired double-action model. The polymer frame, steel slide, and fire control components make for a light gun at 26 ounces. You get an ambidextrous slide release. And for southpaws, you can reverse the mag release. Comes with 2 17-round magazines. In the 9mm, in the 40 Smith & Wesson, you'll get a 15-round magazine. MSRP is about $730. Street price is about $80 less. Let's talk about the grip. Another innovation since the M&P line was introduced are the 3 optional back straps. Smith & Wesson's research showed that a lot of shooters are using skateboard tape, so they provided a very aggressive stippling on the rear back strap, which I like because it gives you control, but it doesn't give you a rough surface on the front with a distracting feel for your fingers. The overall design is focused on comfort. A lot of different prototypes resulted in a smooth trigger guard and different innovations in the contour that make for a very comfortable gun. Okay, so let's move on to the barrel. It's a 5-inch barrel. Gives you a 7 1/4-inch sight radius for dialing in distance shots with iron sights better. But new to the C.O.R.E is a faster twist rate. They've moved from a 1 in 18 twist rate to 1 in 10. With the 9mm caliber, you're going to have bullet weights from 115 to 147 grains, and that 1 in 10 twist rate is going to stabilize that heavier 147 grain bullet. Another great innovation introduced with the C.O.R.E is a square hood on the back of the barrel. These designs don't have a muzzle bushing, so the hood, in effect, is the bushing. The fact that it's now square instead of round really gives you a tight lockup when the slide moves forward in battery. What Smith & Wesson has done to help with recoil management is they've lowered the profile of the slide. Ideally, we'd like the barrel perfectly in line with our arm. By lowering the profile, they've reduced the muzzle flip. That, added with the ergonomic shape of the grips and aggressive stippling, gives you ultimate control. For the trigger, the take-up on the 5-pound trigger is a little bit long, but the trigger reset for the C.O.R.E is only about 1/4 inch and very consistent. The only thing keeping you from rapid fire with this gun is you. M&P triggers have another nice feature in that they have a smooth surface with no blade safety, which I like in competition. I prefer the smooth finish so that you're not being distracted by something in the middle of the trigger. For those that might want to tune the gun for your hand loads, you have a captured recoil spring. You're not going to be able to swap that out very easily. Ours is color-coded, so I suspect you'll be able to get different weight springs as the custom market weighs in with their options. As far as cons, it does only come with 2 magazines, and they're $45 each, and it does not come with an autoloader. And for the pros, out-of-the-box optic mounts is the big one. Comes with a low profile for reduced muzzle flip. You do have a choice of 3 back straps for proper fit, a smooth trigger face, very comfortable grip, very reliable, and of course co-witnessing with optics and iron sights. For more information on the Smith & Wesson C.O.R.E, go to AmericanRifleman.org.